The court hearing getting pushed back for the 5 former Memphis police officers charged in the death of Tyre Nichols. The hearing was scheduled for Monday and will now be in mid-May. Now, those officers do not have to show up for that hearing, but they will be expected back in court at another hearing set for early June. These are those 5 former officers facing several charges, including second-degree murder. That's the most serious. The city releasing video showing the officers beating the 29-year-old Tyre Nichols. It happened during a traffic stop back in January.
All right, guys, you seen in the 30-second clipping that was played before the video that this is good news for the prosecution, because a couple weeks ago, or I think it was last week, the defense of these 5 officers in the Tyre Nichols case, their lawyers were trying to stop the prosecution from extending past the May 1st deadline of court, because the prosecution had so much evidence. They were trying to get it in order. The defense was trying to stop it. So this is good news. In fact, it's huge news because they have more time. Evidently, they had came up on a deadline for mid-May. So I guess it's in the next 2 weeks or whatever after the first, but it still gives the time to get all this evidence together to rightfully prosecute these 5 pieces of crap. Now, what's good about this whole situation is, number one, the prosecution won the ruling, right, to get more time. And number 2, this goes back to what I've been saying. I will always say, the defense of these 5 officers, they are scared. They are climbing a grease pole and trying to get these officers off. I know it. You know it. Everybody else knows it. Among some of the things that I think personally, from covering the case so long, I think a lot of this back and forth banter of like trying to stop the prosecution from doing their job and get evidence suppressed and get all these cameras and stuff out. And remember, we still have not seen all of the footage. Remember that? It's a block on the footage. I think most of this is coming from Emmett Martin's lawyer. It's just my opinion, because he's been the one that's been most vocal about suppressing things and letting certain things be seen. Some things can't be seen. Because, you know, behind the scenes, a lot of people, you know, regular folk don't know what's going on with the court case and such. And I think, honestly, this is all lawyer play. Well, I know it's lawyer play because these officers are represented by some type of counseling. It's mainly Emmett Martin's lawyer, I think. Because he has a very good lawyer, from what I hear from people that are in Memphis and knows his family legacy of, you know, lawyers. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. These dudes right here in this case, once all this evidence comes out, I want to see 2 things. Number one, you know, in the public and those following the case, we only know what they tell us, right? I want to see, once these hearings start, if all of the audio, you know, and video does come out as it was supposed to be promised a long time ago. So I want you guys to keep, you know, focus on that and see if they really let that go. Because a lot of times with the media and a lot of stuff that's said, you know, we get bombarded with other news stories and things like that where stuff gets compiled on, and we forget all about the facts, and we forget all about what was promised us as the society, as the public, watching and taking care of, you know, not taking care of, but watching these cases. So that's one thing I want to see. Another thing is, I don't know how they're going to defend this. Another variable you got to pay attention to is this. These police officers cannot get off. The city is not going to burn for what has happened to Tyre Nichols from the negligence of the police force. You know what I mean? Or bad policing. You know, I'm not going to downgrade all the police, but I'm just telling you, this right here is powerful for the simple fact that, in fact, I'll put it like this. I'll try to make it where everybody can understand. The defense doesn't know what they're defending. Remember, I said there are supposedly multiple secret witnesses that come forward. Everybody has what's called a right of accuser. They don't have all the facts. Now, I'm sure they got their discoveries already. In fact, I know they got their discoveries already. You know what I mean? not only do they have to battle their own defense, because each one of these guys have their own lawyer, you know, and it's tried individually from what I'm hearing. They don't know what they're defending against. It's like having a box in front of you with a lid on it. And somebody saying, what's in here? Your life depends on what's in here. Now you have an idea what's in this box, but everything you think you need that's vital for you to make a decision on whether you're going to defend, you know, yourself against it, it's always that chance. So you're scared. It's a lot of second guessing. You remember, this is a high intense altercation. Adrenaline was up. A lot of people was doing mindless behavior. Now, after everything has cooled down, a lot of people are like seeing these discoveries. I didn't do that. Did I do that? Oh my God. No, that wasn't me. That was him. It's going to be a whole bunch of going back and forth. I think it's going to be a lot of cutting the throats. I think a lot of people, you know, these officers are going to start coming out with a lot of things. I think a lot of stuff they've done in the past. Because remember, when you're in jail, when you're in court and stuff like that, it's the defense against the prosecution. So it's a lot of character flaws and stuff being brought up that a lot of people in the public don't know. That's why when this thing starts, I definitely have to be down here. I've covered this story a whole lot. And you guys have been on the journey with me. I've went down there myself. I've showed you the scenes. I've answered a lot of questions that we all had, you know, I gave answers to a lot of questions we all had, you know, questions about. And I really want to see, you know, how this thing turns out. Because, police brutality, it happens every day. But, to the extent of this, of seeing this took my breath away. And it's like, I feel as though I want to, and I have to, like, keep going with this thing. Like, I'm trying to get down there. Like, I'm looking at stuff right now, like as far as press passes, how to get in there. Some of you guys down there that keep in contact with me have been helping me gather this information. I'm trying to get in that courtroom, man, because if I could give a courtroom report from there and, you know, talk to you guys and give you guys the input, that would be golden, man. You know, will Tyre Nichols get justice? I believe so. And I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how these guys are going to defend, you know, and I just think what they're doing is just standard prosecution versus defense stuff. But to no end, you got audio, you got video, you know. I think, honestly, the end part, when he was on the ground and what's his name? Demetrius Haley was running his mouth, talking about what they was doing, and they was punching and hitting on him and all this other stuff, not even sounding professional. I think that's going to be what's played up the most. When he goes to court, I think that's going to be the wildest court scene, because he's talked too much, he said too much, and you can't recant statements that you made on the video at a crime scene. They had multiple infractions on the crime scene, smoking on the crime scene, doing all kind of crazy stuff. Not supposed to be doing that. They were very unprofessional, unpolice-like. I'm anxious to see what happens in this case. You know, Tyre Nichols will get justice. As these alerts come up, May 15th or whenever they're going to have a thing, I'll be covering that and I'll come with another story. But right now, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for none of them. And it's a good thing. It's not and it's messed up to say you want to condemn somebody, but Tyre Nichols not here no more. His family going through pain still. You know what I'm saying? His son growing up without a father. All because these dudes want to be thugs in a badge. I feel nothing. Like I said, I'm Stock Market Steve. Until the next update, as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's a good day for the prosecution, bad day for the defense. You know, hopefully it'll be some closure with Tyre Nichols' family, and we'll take it from there. But either way, I'll be covering the story. You'll be hearing from me. As always, take care. See you in the next video.